Collider Live. You love this song, Josh McCouga?
I love this song.
Well, that's why we're playing it, because it is officially your last day for a little bit as you are going on to new ventures.
A new adventure.
It's hard to say goodbye sometimes.
I know on it, Josh.
Love you guys.
You're my desk mate.
We love you too.
Who am I going to talk
I know,
to?
I'm going to miss my favorite acquaintance.
It's pretty amazing.
Well done, dude.
Well,
Well done, dude.
I will say that you guys are more than acquaintances at this point, because Dorina did something pretty cool for you.
What'd you do?
It's a really short thing that Frank helped me out with. That
No way.
we wrote you a little poem.
Yeah, let's
little
kick off this
goodbye
Josh Love
poem.
Fest with a
Oh,
poem.
man, a poem.
It's a poem?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go, guys.
Great poem, too.
With heavy hearts, we say goodbye to Josh McCougs, our Pittsburgh guy.
Oh.
He might look tough, he might look mean, and then you hear his Roger Rabbit scream. He makes us laugh. We're his biggest fan, the one, the only mild man. We'll miss your puns, your quips, your thoughts, from Bad Boys 2 to Rockin' Yachts.
Yes.
And
that's
when we
good.
fight, you're always beaten, except you're right. Batman is Michael Keaton. We know
love
you
that.
hate. We know you hate black and white movies and space, but we still hope one day you take Alex Trebek's place.
Oh.
And the last one is, so Josh, we'll leave you with this parting gift. And by the way, Prince is better than Taylor Swift.
It's really good.
That's very, very well done.
You enjoy that?
Frank.
I want to high five too.
Frank.
Everybody high five. Thanks, Frank, for the help on
That
that
is
one.
so well done.
From
I
your
love
acquaintance, Dorina.
Yes.
It must mean so much to have an
Love that.
acquaintance write that
was
about
great.
We
you.
was
rhymed and we punned just for you.
That. Yes,
So.
I really. I one time, I think it was freshman year English, and you had to write we had to write poems, and I didn't understand iambic pentameter. I didn't understand how
right.
words sounded, so I just
Do you
rhymed
now?
everything. No. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So I just rhymed everything, and after the third poem, my English teacher was like, "It's not all a limerick," and I was like, "It is. Poetry has to rhyme. Okay, it has to rhyme. It's not poetry unless it rhymes."
I gotta
Sorry.
say, I kind of feel similarly.
Right?
Yeah, just because otherwise it's words.
Yeah.
I get it, and I'm not a poet.
Math
but
checks out. Yep.
I don't know if it doesn't rhyme in any way. Is it a poem?
I know.
Yes, have you guys not read Pablo Neruda or
Yes, I have.
So yeah, so that
I
he doesn't
don't know
rhyme all
him.
the
It's
time.
beautiful.
Yeah,
But-
it's very romantic and
Yes,
beautiful.
but I don't know, to be a poem.
You just rather have a haiku.
Right, says I read.
I like
But that's our-
haikus. Have you guys seen this year? I've taken up to writing haikus.
Really?
Yeah, I
Have you
really
really?
like 575s. I love haikus.
Can we have a Dots poetry corner, like in
Give-
meetings
give
for
it-
the
yeah,
Roxy's
give it-
haikus?
I can't off the cuff haiku
No,
yet.
but we have a
Drop
new
your
segment.
motherfucking haiku.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just being OCD right now.
I will help with. Dorina just took my run. For anybody who's
Roxy.
just listening, Dorina took my rundown and made sure it was evenly lined
Oh,
up
that's
with
with me.
hers.
No, every day. With
I
Ro-
just,
I was like, you
I'm
have
not
one.
sure
What are you
why-
doing?
I don't know. I was just like, oh, looks nicer
It's a
this way.
lot
It's
prettier.
like my OCD coming
Have
out.
you ever noticed when you have your computer over there, I always like to angle it so that it's hitting both of the little stoppers? Like I have an OCD with that, or it has to be perfectly placed on top of the computer.
I noticed that, and now you've pointed it out, and it's flooding back from all the times you've done it.
All the time. I always go like that.
Interesting.
So,
I'm gonna miss
Josh, I
Saturday's
have a
bunch.
question for you.
Yes.
Who are you going to miss the most at
Great
this office?
question. Valid question.
At this office, that's really tough. I love all
As
you guys
opposed
so
to not
much.
at the office?
No,
your wife,
My wife
obviously.
would probably be number
My
one.
wife.
This is my wife.
Yeah, my wife. I don't know. I love all you guys so much. Everybody brings such a really cool thing to the table. I love the whole, editor's corner with Cody and Adam and Cobster and Remsen, and I love being on this show with you guys. It's really it is. I love coming into work every day. I really do. This is a really special place to work. I love sitting next to Riley and every 10 minutes I'll just turn and be like, gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit? We definitely have some awesome quips between us. I love looking across at Roka and going, Roka.
Yeah, Roka.
He doesn't know.
Because he's like this. He's like,
He's always on his
Yeah,
headphones.
his headphones noise cancel
then he does
everything.
this,
I love Thad, and obviously I like just leaning in and looking at Frank and just going, hello, Frank.
I feel like more importantly, though, who are you going to miss the least?
Probably the writers, because I don't know any of them.
That makes sense. That's true. That's fair and honest.
I've tried to introduce myself to them multiple times, and none of them really have gone. I haven't
Yeah,
like had any
interact.
conversations
we have a
with
short,
them.
we have a
'cause they're-
shorthand. It's like, hey, dude.
Yeah, hey,
That's
dude.
because they're writers. You got to
Yeah.
write them an email to introduce
I
yourself.
love Perry, and I love I love Mark Fernandez. He and I have become very close over the the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And this place is like obviously it's like a home to me, so it's very
Yeah.
special. Me going off to do this right now is an amazing opportunity, but I will miss doing this show every day. I really will.
Yeah.
When are you going to be able to tell people what's happening?
I'll probably find out this week when because we start shooting Monday, and but I think like a press release will more than likely.
So you are shooting, huh?
I'm shooting.
We know everything.
When
now.
that does break, we are going to put it in the news rundown.
Oh, that's big. Today.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I'll call in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
You'll
I'll
call
call.
in when you can,
better.
right?
Yes.
A
Oh, exactly.
Collider
Do you have my number?
exclusive?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Collider
sure.
Live exclusive. Josh McCouga. Where in the world is he?
Yeah.
But of course you're sad you're leaving here, but you are
Yes.
excited about this new chapter in your life.
This
Yeah.
is an amazing
Yeah, it's
opportunity for you, dude.
it's a
And
really
so
cool
deserving.
opportunity.
It's
Thanks, man.
so deserving. And it's like one of the first things I remember about meeting Makugas. One is like, dude, this guy's just like the coolest, right? And then it was just like when I started to work with the Schmoes, especially like seeing the talent on the microphones, it was like always knew that Makugs was one of the best. And to see this happen, it's like when you told me, I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One, I've also, I think because I've known you the least out of everyone here.
Acquaintance.
Of
Yeah,
course.
just an acquaintance.
But the biggest thing I've seen as I've gotten to know you is that you're just such a team player.
Oh,
like you
thanks.
just, you really want to, whatever you put your hands in, you do a really good job with. Like you
Thanks.
really want to help and you want to
Yes.
make whatever you're working on good. So I'm very happy that for you with this
Thank you.
next chapter in your life, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
never
Thank you.
more apparent yesterday in that text that you sent, just to that's why it is a bummer, I think, for us losing you in the sense that you're not going to be here every day, because it was just such a positive text that came in that then all of us were like, yeah, and it was a love fest for like
Yeah,
20 minutes of
uplifting.
text.
Because of how much we love you, we do have another surprise that we can bring in. Hopefully, you guys know what I'm talking about over there in the booth. And I let your
I know
heart
you don't
settle
like
after
anything.
the poem, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
if the us music could cue right about now, just because we thought that would be an amazing send off.
So it did, our
Much more of
You
a
guys know me
Josh
so
McCouga
well.
surprise with the Jack Daniels brought in by Ken Knapsack.
Get in here, sit down, you big handsome
Do
Do
goat.
we have a
down.
microphone for Ken?
we'll share
Alex,
this
can you-
microphone.
okay.
And they're the Rouse cupcakes too. They're my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Are they?
Well, Josh,
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Josh, you have deserved every
I
bit of
knew
those
it.
Ralph cupcakes.
Do you know what I also tried to do, McCougs, and found out the hard way that they don't serve it in the mornings? Chicken McNuggets.
Chicken
I
nuggets.
walked into fucking McDonald's and I said, "Give me chicken McNuggets," and he went, "Well, you're gonna have to in about maybe an hour come back." I was like,
We have a show to do.
that's
The
not
chickens
gonna work.
aren't awake yet.
That's
Just also, hello, Ken Knapsack. Thank you for joining us.
Dorita, congratulations to you two for getting control of this zoo with Mark Riley here. And you're fortunately losing this lunk, but I think that's going to be good for all parties as he goes on a wonderful adventure.
Thanks,
and you
buddy.
continue yours, and then you're going to come back and dance.
Yeah.
And oh my God.
Oh shit!
And
I'm
there
so
with
sorry.
the first
And
smell
I'm
of
gonna
alcohol.
smell like-
Party foul.
I'm gonna smell like whiskey all day. I'm literally gonna be. Were you drinking today?
How's
Can I
that
tell
different
you
from any
guys?
other Collider staff
Wait,
member?
I know that this is really stupid, and I'm going to preface it with that so Josh doesn't call me out, because obviously I knew we were bringing out whiskey and cupcakes,
This is why I moved my computer because I knew this would happen. Thank you, Alex.
but for some reason I didn't think we were drinking the whiskey, which is stupid because it's Josh's goodbye right now. But you're pouring us shots currently, and I have to
didn't.
take it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we all have to take it.
You don't have to
okay.
take the whole thing. You can deserve it.
What Dorina said, at one point in life, we all have to take it.
That's
Correct.
so true.
Correct, Ken.
Are you feeling good about the fact that you're going to be a little tipsy for your next show?
Here.
People just assume I always am.
Okay.
But the nice thing is this time around I'll have read the news stories more than 5 minutes before I sit down in the chair. So this is going to be good.
That's exciting.
This is very true.
And,
Okay.
and you know that Emma Fife has been reading the news stories for the last...
For 3 weeks.
Yeah, she's got them memorized. She has everything.
And Andres Cabrera.
100%. We're so excited for you. We've been talking about your show nonstop.
Don't worry about
Congrats.
that. Let's talk about Joshy.
Joshy.
We're also so excited for you, Josh,
Thank you.
except for the fact that you have the heaviest hand I've ever felt in my entire life. This is
why
the
I
biggest
bartended for
shot.
so long.
Green
I will
cat.
only be taking half. But cheers to Josh going on to do an amazing, amazing thing right now that we can't talk about. But we're so excited for you. We're so proud of you.
Thank
like
you.
everybody said, you're an incredible person, an incredible host, and you've earned this more than anybody I know. Congratulations.
Salud.
Salud.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Crush it, Macoos.
Ken, what the
I wanted to get to it.
Taking half.
All of
Taking
it.
half. No.
All.
That's great.
It's 11:45.
Wow, you guys all did that.
Woo! Do it, Rob.
It's
Do
11:45
it.
half.
somewhere.
Josh will get this.
Oh, we're not doing cupcake shots?
Yeah,
No, do the
Cupcake
cupcakes.
is your chaser. This is the age-old debate that Josh and I have been having,
Do you eat
and
on
I would
the
like
roof?
you guys to weigh in.
Yeah.
Jameson or Jack?
Jack.
Jameson.
I know what
Jameson.
you fucking think.
Jameson.
Jameson.
Wow.
Jameson.
Bushmills,
Jameson.
Teeling.
Cody,
I do not
what was
like
I
yours?
said Jack.
Jack.
Cody and
Alex?
Alex, did you guys take shots in the booth?
I just downed a whole thing of
Oh, no,
water.
they're driving vehicles. They can't, that's heavy machinery. And
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, guys, Jack is sweet as hell.
Yes, it is. That's why I don't like it.
And now,
That's why Jameson.
You better listen, Jack.
now you're eating the cupcake. I wanted to ask you a question, but I don't know if you can even answer it like that.
What? Go ahead.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Do you have a number one favorite Collider Live memory, Josh Makuga,
Well-
Cupcake Man?
Other than the us memory, obviously. 'cause,
that
you
was
know,
the
that's
That was
pretty
scary.
cool.
Not his favorite.
Not my favorite. You know, there've been so. I mean, I will say, chasing Jack with a cupcake is amazing. We should have been doing this a long time ago. Can I get a cupcake back? I will say, you know, meeting Jean-Claude Van Damme, I thought was going to be a lot cooler than it was. We've had some really amazing guests in here.
Okay, we're starting with least favorite memories.
But you know, as much as I disliked Halloween Horror Nights, I loved being out with all of you guys
Yeah, that was
because
fun.
I don't think I could have done it without you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, as entertaining as that video was, it was terrifying in the moment. But like getting that content really was pretty special for me, and having everybody there was awesome. So yeah.
Yay.
Halloween Horror
I agree
Nights.
with that
Yeah,
because that was
really
my
cool.
favorite memory.
Open that card. I just want to see your face for the for just the
it,
beginning.
it may or may not be punny, and I may or may not have not understood it.
You were meant to do amazing things, and it's mint. It's mint.
Yeah, look at how happy he is. See,
It's
Mark?
amazing.
You did a great job
It's a
choosing a card.
pun.
Can I,
Pun.
can I tell you the amount of
Card
time
had a pun.
Mark Riley hands me this card, and this is what I said out loud 6 times. You were meant to do amazing things. You were meant to do amazing things.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
had to work through
I
it.
was like,
You were meant to do amazing things.
Get
and
there.
He was, and
Get there.
I didn't get there. He had to say, it's like meant.
Are you serious?
Did you miss that?
yeah.
of course.
That's a
'Cause I
true
was-
story.
Even Ken is confused at this point.
I was. It just was
What
not.
happened?
It was not getting there for me.
Okay.
Well, he really enjoyed it, so that's good. So, Ken Knapsack,
Hey, Dorina.
do you have a short speech that you would like to tell it to Josh
To
Makuga?
Mr. Josh
Yes.
Makuga?
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't
my
get to
God.
sign the card.
Exactly.
On the spot.
No, it's
on
fine.
the spot.
Here,
Look,
get that card over here.
Let me
we'll have,
te-
we'll have Ken
Let
sign
me
it.
tell you something about Joshua Hercules Maguga. He and I were not destined to be friends. Fate would not put us together normally. The nerd in the corner of the room silently looking at all the ladies he cannot talk to as the swim team captain dances with all the ladies that this guy in the corner wants. But guess what? One day we became friends after we were rivals first,
Yes.
tweeting for the job of producer of the Schmoes Know movie
Ken
show
thankfully got.
that I unfortunately won. And from there, Josh and I formed an unlikely partnership. The nerd and the jock, the nerd who loves sports and the jock who did love nerd stuff. And we found that we had a great chemistry. And on the day that we were both laid off on the same day, we turned to each other as we were getting drunk at Barney's Beanery at 2 p.m. and said, "What do we do now?" So let's form a show called The Afternoons of Josh and Ken. And through that, I have learned a lot about this man. I've officiated his wedding.
That's true.
I have formed a friendship with his lovely bride, and I have looked across from him at a very long time and thought, he is destined for something that is built for him. In this town, we're all looking for our own personal brand, and this man has one. And he, I cannot say what, has found something that is perfect for him.
Yes.
Almost as perfect as his marriage to the wonderful Amanda, my new co-host on the Afternoons with
Yes!
Josh and Ken.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
She's
That's
hosting
awesome.
when I'm
She's
out
gonna
of
be
town.
hosting.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
So
Yeah.
to pay tribute to Josh, I know that you are not just onto better things. You're onto the right thing for you.
Thanks,
and I can't
man.
wait for the
Thanks,
world
man.
to figure it out.
Thanks, man.
Big hole here, but Roxy, Dorina, Riley, they've got this.
Yeah, I appreciate
Well
that, man.
done,
Thank
Used
you.
to
Ken.
filling big holes.
True words cannot be
Yes, we are.
spoken.
We know.
Whoa! Oh, that just yeah.
Yeah, we know all about filling holes. It's fine.
I don't even know why I say these things. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then,
then
I
she
don't know.
ruined
I
it.
ate a lot of frosting just now. These are excellent.
You should
told
finish
you.
your shot.
Dude, I'm telling you, if I go to a party, Halloween party, Christmas party, Thanksgiving party, and somebody shows up with Ralph's cookies or cupcakes, that's the first thing I go for.
Same.
It is the most underrated bakery in the world.
Fuck sprinkles. Fuck everything
don't
else.
need that bullshit.
This is
Oh,
the shit.
yeah.
I was
Good
worried
night.
I was going to run into you at the Rock and Roll Rounds. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what I'm at. This is just
Those
for me.
cupcakes?
This is
I have
right.
another Josh thing
Eat
to
one
say.
with a beard, though.
Oh, thank you.
That's what she said.
He's tried and he's got the, you see in the stash full of frosting.
Dorina, can you hand me...
Sí, por
By
favor.
the way,
here's what I'll-
yesterday,
De nada.
I'm sorry, at Popeyes yesterday, as I just got there, somebody said, Dorina, order for Dorina, and I was like, Dorina is here too.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
That's never happened to
I
me.
swear- there was a
I
Dorina.
only know my mom has my name and nobody else.
Do you guys, every time you type Dorina, get it auto-corrected to Dorito still? Or have I just spelled Dorito too many
I
times?
think you have to capitalize Dorina.
Or Dorian, because
Mine is Dorian or Dorina.
Mine goes to Dorito.
Doritos make sense.
In my phone, it says witch.
Oh,
Bruja.
you
You should
trained
change
it
to
well,
bruja.
my friend.
Yeah.
Here's another thing about Josh that I love, because here's the thing. I make jokes and stuff, but you guys know I'm not very good at it because I try to be funny and woof. But I'm good at speaking from the heart because I have a lot of feels, and a lot of them are for Josh. I think that you have done the most incredible job supporting all of us and making sure that this show, when Christian was leaving it, that we felt that we were capable of doing that. I wrote it in your card to you, but I have doubts all the time about myself and nothing about this team. It's the most amazing team, but can I do it? And you assured me from day one, this is yours. You've got this, not just with this, but everything. And you've been such an amazing friend, such an amazing partner in all things TV related and this show and everywhere across the board. And even booking this massive gig that I can't wait for people to see you on. You were so humble and kind enough to say, anytime I'm back in LA, I want to be on Collider Live and I want to stay here and support you guys when you do not have to do that, but just because you want to. You're the best, and this show is going to massively, massively miss you. Thank you so much for being here. The show would not have taken off and been the same without you, and we're really, really going to miss you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Roxy.
Thanks.
Well job.
It means a lot.
And
It
then
does.
insert
That's so
joke
true.
here because you guys know I suck
And
at it.
fill in
Should have
holes.
me write one for me maybe next time.
I didn't write that one.
Oh shit! Yeah, and fill in holes
I
for
will.
some reason.
You know, I don't. I can take compliments well. It's always like, how do I respond to compliments? You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, thank you. That's it's very nice.
Wash.
Wash. You know, like Ken said, is when you come to LA and you start in entertainment, it's very scary because it's not like you have an entry level job and it's like, here's $60,000 a year in health insurance. It's
Right.
like, here, do 700 student films for free, right?
Right.
And,
Wait
And you have
and wait
$5 in
tables.
your bank account.
Right.
Yeah.
You wait tables. You don't have health insurance. You know, you do any odd job from posing naked in an art school to, whatever the case may be. You know, from when I started in New York, and again, I came out of college with a degree from a very good university in a job, in a degree that I could have just gotten a job and just done what I did. And I didn't do that. I was never going to be a dude that was able to sit in an office. I can't do that. And like sit in a cubicle and enter numbers into things. And the people that can do that, thank you, because without you, we don't have a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, I hustled and I hustled and I hustled and I moved out here. And I think when I met Ken and I met Mark and I met Christian and I met Mark and I met Roxy and I met and like you create this family. And I always think of this, and you said this to me one time. When you think about the people that you've worked with and people say like, who we used to, back then it was just Mark, Christian, and Ken, right? And it was like this family that we built. It was this foundation, right? It was like, back in the day it was just Ken and Josh doing this or something like that. I always like that origin story. I always like that whole thing. And the fact that I get to come in here every day and just talk into a microphone and hang out and make stupid puns and do a podcast with one of my best buds in the world and get to hang out with not just good people, but really awesomely cool people, like people that I wouldn't, because I think there's a lot of people that go to a job and they're like, so my buddy Dave from work, like he's all right, he's all right. But I mean, like, there's not many people that you work with that you have officiate your wedding, right? That
That's so cool.
I get to be a groomsman in Mark Riley's wedding. You know what I mean?
I'm still on the team, right?
You two?
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we can make this announcement.
You
now.
thought he
like-
ditched you?
There's,
I'll tell you that, not to step on Josh, but he invited me to his wedding team on a very drunk night at a bowling alley, and I had no idea to this moment if he remembered.
Oh. Well, now you know. Congratulations.
Please,
Well done.
please,
Thank you, Josh.
please. These two men are
I just
standing
took
up.
the
You
Happy
are
Roxy
always
shot.
welcome to take the second half of my Jack Daniels
There you
shot
go.
from now until forever.
You know, I mean, we all did this, and I think it was my favorite part of the early Schmoes Nose days was after the show, hanging out at the bar,
Yeah.
right? Like we had these amazing shows, right? From Toad Hop to like the first generation of AfterBuzz, which was probably my favorite time that we all had together.
Yeah.
We know
is
Mark
when we
Ryder
first
loved Chili's so
Yeah.
much there.
Chili's,
and all
And
that.
the
Amazing.
fight with Roxy.
Great
Amazing.
mozzarella sticks.
when we first got, that's when we first got introduced to you. I think you were the only person in AfterBuzz that liked us.
Well, not at first, but then I grew up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Roxy had an interaction that was not favorable for both of us.
He was very loud.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
was,
Oh my
he
God, I
still
remember
is.
that.
she was very rude.
He's still very loud.
And I still am.
That has
very
not
rude.
changed.
Shit,
You were all really
To
loud.
like, being able to create this family. You know, people say it all the time is like, we're not a show, we're a family. I think, a lot that goes out to being the good people that we've been able to work in this space with. I think there's a lot of jobs you can go in every day and not be friends with anybody and still do your job. And this is not one of those jobs, right? Do you remember like the old blooper reels of Siskel and Ebert when they literally the cameras would film and they'd be like, I'm going to kill you. I hate you so much. That doesn't happen here. When we're done, we're friends. And I think you can tell it on the air. And I think that's why, I have this amazing opportunity. But when I go, I will miss you guys. I will.
Yeah.
I will miss this show. I will miss everything about being here. I will miss, doing it. And, I'm going to put everything I have into it because I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I'm a competitor. And so when I do something, I give it 100%. My dad always said it doesn't matter if you're digging a ditch or, you're announcing the Steeler game, you do it 100%. So I will give it 100%, and everything I do, I will give 100% because I always have that feeling of I don't want to let anybody in the room down. It's not, I can let myself down at the end of the day. I'm not happy with it, but if I let anybody else in the room down, and I guess when you said team player, that made a lot of sense to me. A kid that played all individual sports growing up from swimming to, to golf. When I was a member of the relay team, I always wanted to be the fastest person, but it's not about being the best in here. It's about being the most complimentary. And I hope that's what you guys get from me because I don't want anybody to ever walk away from the show being like, it was just like the Makuga show. All he did was just like stew his stupid puns the whole time. Roxy had good points, and Darina had good points, even with their scary shirts. And, Ken tells an amazing story in the afternoons, and Josh just cuts in with some stupid pun. I don't want that. If anything, I just want everybody to be around me, to have a good time. And I think like when Jane Seymour said yesterday, be authentic, I can only be myself. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. And if you do like it, thank you so much for tuning in.
Mission
That's
accomplished, dude.
Yes.
You are the
man.
most authentic person I've ever met in my life. Seriously,
man.
and I noticed that from day one.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unless you have web feet and hands, and then you should just
Same.
be a
Still goes.
swimmer.
Did you
Still
see
goes.
that joke
'Cause
yesterday?
that's
So yesterday,
it kinda slayed Ken.
Jane Seymour goes, my mom ran this business. She sold spirits out of her house. One of the workers was this guy, and another guy had webbed feet and toes. And I just got it. I was like, must have been a hell of a swimmer. And she just stopped me and goes, it's a very hilariously inappropriate joke. Thank you, Jane Seymour. Thank you
was
very
really
much.
good,
So,
though.
yeah.
Round
You
of
made
applause
you
for
made
Josh
Jane
frickin'
Seymour laugh.
Makuga.
Well done, Josh.
And a special thanks does go out to a lot of the fans. Anybody that tweets, anybody that comments, legitimately, if you just watch or listen to the show and have never said a word, positive or negative, if you've never said a word, if you thought I don't like him, I just appreciate the fact that you guys that you watch this stuff because there's a lot of people out there that do something every day that it goes unappreciated. And I think that if I take anything away from that terrible movie that I watched on Halloween, it's that there's a lot of people out there that go unappreciated, and just know that we appreciate you all.
Yay.
That's all.
It was really cute.
And
I might
really
cry.
quick, Cody, any last words for Josh?
I'm just gonna miss doing stupid stuff with you, man.
Cody, I will say, man, one of my favorite memories of anything ever in the history of working at Collider is doing fantasy updates for the
Right
show
back
down
at
with
you, man. That was so much fun.
So much fun. To you and Alex, you guys are very, very original people. I don't think I've ever met anybody quite like the both of you. And it's always just been a pleasure coming in every single day and being with you guys. And we'll miss both of you. And when I said to Mark Fernandez, or I think I said to Thad, I said, have we talked about who's going to fill in for me in Rumor Mill? And Thad said, I think Mark wants it to be Cody. I said, well, my first choice would have been Cody. So it makes me very happy. And, Alex, you don't say a ton on this show, but what you do, and who you are, man, you're a super, super talented guy. And I want the entire world to see and know that because I noticed it right away. And the first time I heard any of your music or anything that you do, you're an amazing guy, man. And you one day you're going to be a superstar, and I just know it.
Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that.
Of course. And Cody, just your one-liners slay every single day. Keep being you, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Well, the whole world is going to know how talented Alex is as he's about to write the Collider Live new theme song.
Correct.
So everybody will know. Again, Josh Macuga, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.